Hello, everyone, and welcome to the RunIowa podcast. This is episode 103. I'm Rob Lindquist.
I'm Dave Kading.
Woohoo! And this is going to be an abbreviated episode for everybody today, so we can get you out and running and on your way. Dave, what do you think about that?
That sounds like a plan.
Sounds abbreviated to me?
Yes.
All right, we'll be back right after this with episode 103. All right, Dave, how you doing?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
Doing well. I'm having, what's the moment when you, deja vu?
Deja vu?
I'm having deja vu all over again.
As
Actually,
Yogi Berra would say.
I had an epiphany or a confession to make, or both. I don't remember. My epiphany and or confession is that I'm doing a really poor job of running right now. Now, I
think everybody who's been listening for the last 2 months would say that.
In a running podcast, that's generally not the best admission to make. But I will confess to it because of, we've talked about motivation and time and being real people and every other excuse you can come up with.
Right. And
we talked about last episode, my 26,000 steps. So in my mind, I'm justifying not running all the time because I am getting a ton of steps. Mm-hmm. That's, I think we said 17 miles, if you remember.
Right.
I don't know if that's correct, but I'm justifying it at least.
Right. Okay.
But that being said, I was sitting last night talking to my wife, and it was probably about 9 o'clock, 9:30 or so, and that's generally when she's going to bed because of the baby, and she gets up early and all that. And I usually go to bed. You're
going to milk this whole baby thing for about a 5-year
excuse. At least 5 years, right?
Yeah.
No, but here's the deal. So last night the kid fell asleep and didn't wake up, and it was great.
Did you go in and check on him about
Twice.
10 times
Twice
to see if he died?
We have a video monitor this year, and so we didn't have that with the girls. This year we do, so I can just kind of look and see. But the thing is, last night was the first night where I thought I could go on the treadmill at least. At the very least, I could go on the treadmill. I didn't, but I thought about it. Well, so maybe
that's the first step.
There we go. So I just need that motivation to now, okay, if he does it again tonight, treadmill.
Sweet.
I'm going to run a 5K tonight on the treadmill just to get it in. Now, I'm not saying I've been completely abstinent of running. I believe I used that correctly.
Yeah.
But I haven't done anything consistent. I haven't trained. You're doing your marathon. But, just to get back in the groove. And actually, one of our future guests, I hope to have on the show, is a former collegiate runner. And I said, hey, would you want to be on the show? Would that be cool? And he's like, yeah, I'd love to come talk. Can we talk about burnout? I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So watch for that in a future episode.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
How's your training?
Pretty good.
Dave Kading update.
Right. Since last time we talked, I should have had 2 long runs in. I had one, did 17 miles 2 weekends ago.
Oh, nice.
Great, felt great. I mean, no aches, pains, whatever.
Yeah.
Which is, for all of you out there who've trained for marathons, you start getting over half marathon distance.
Right.
You can get kind of sore the next day and stuff. Oh, I felt great. It was like when I was finished with it, I was a little slower than I wanted my pace to be, but I was happy with it. And it was a hilly run for the most part. And
right.
Anyway, so was going to run the same route this past Sunday, and was going to do 18 to 20, just depending on. I get to a point where it's about a mile to my house, or I can do another loop, and it adds 3 miles to it. It's a little 3-mile loop right at the end.
Right.
So, either doing 17, 18, or 19, just 20, depending on how I go back. Well, I was running, and I got to about mile 10, and my left calf, I always have a problem with my left calf. And I don't know if I get dehydrated, whether it starts to cramp, and then that
compensate or something?
Yep, and then it's sore sore enough I can hardly walk up and down stairs, kind of sore. Well, that was this Sunday. So I got to about mile 9, and I could feel it getting tight, and I'm like, stop, drink, stretch.
Right.
Got to mile 10, and I was running with Ryan again, and he said, let's just walk. So we walked about the last 3 back to his car, and he said, hey, can you give me a ride home? It's 3 miles to my house from where we run.
Sure.
And did that. So did 14, but the last 3 were walking, and it felt fine walking, but
so
I couldn't
you did
run.
11 with a 3 minute.
Yep, 3 mile.
down.
Yep, 3 mile cool down. Yep,
Nice.
but it felt fine. I wasn't like other than my calf.
And you're walking today
Right.
when we're recording.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yeah, so then I'm going to try to go out and this evening either take the dogs for a walk or a jog, depending on how it feels.
Yeah.
But
Very
that's
cool.
discouraging I got 3 weeks left.
Oh yeah. So are you gonna do your full taper or?
I don't know. Probably
Yeah.
not. I mean, I have this weekend, next weekend, to run, to get a one last big long run in.
Sure.
So it might be one of those I have to do it midweek, which I hate to do.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I have to do it after school, and if it's warm, then you're running when it's
It's
hot.
supposed to be hot tomorrow, man.
So we'll see. I mean, the nice thing is I felt well enough in my run that if you have to, I mean, it might be one of those you come limping in. You're underprepared, but you're prepared enough to know
You could finish.
yes, this is going to suck.
Yeah.
But it will get done. No, really.
I will say there are about 9,000 people out there every day that are like, I can do it. It's just gonna suck.
Right.
Yeah.
It will be a Rob Owens running his 100 mile.
Let's take a quick break here
All
just
right.
so we can get the break in. By the way, if you want to advertise with us, let me know.
Yes.
We will restart our advertising campaign if you want to get in on an episode. And 2 spots, just contact either Rob or Dave on Twitter or Facebook or whatever. And if you have some running related advertising to do with us,
Yeah,
there
we
we go.
love it.
But we'll take our quick break. We'll come back. We'll talk about Rob. We'll talk a couple other things as well. Okay, we're back with the podcast here, and you just brought up Rob Owens.
Yep.
And so what happened?
So
If you follow him on Facebook or Instagram,
Yep.
you kind of have a good idea. But go ahead, Dave.
Well, Rob took off out west to do an ultra. He was doing a 100 mile at now I'm going to forget the name of the race. I'm looking it up at Run Rabbit Run 2017, and he finished. As he said, he wasn't. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but he wasn't as trained as he could have been. But this isn't the first time that Rob's done an ultra without a whole lot of training. I think when we had him last time on the show, he had talked about running an ultra. I think it was just a 50 miler, but it was up in Wisconsin or Michigan or someplace, and he went and one of his buddies was running.
Oh, right.
He said, "You should run this with us." And he goes, "Well, I don't have any shoes or shorts or anything." He goes, "I have an extra set of shorts," and borrowed shoes and shorts and gear and went out and ran a 50 miler. So this year he was running out in the mountains out west, and he finished.
Was this Colorado? I feel like this was Colorado.
Yeah, I think so.
Wasn't there something to do with elevation?
Yeah, so he ran. So his little thing. Anyway, he's in the hospital still. Yeah, Steamboat Springs, Colorado.
There you go.
He's still in the hospital. He finished under the 36-hour time limit. I think he finished at 35 hours and 25 minutes or something to that effect. Got done. Didn't feel real well. Didn't feel well the last hour or so. Anyway, ended up going to the hospital where his blood work was terrible. And they thought he had this plethora of ailments going in, and he said, this is just his last comment from yesterday morning. He says, "My 2 docs just informed me that I have to stay another night at the hospital for observation. His CPK levels are still way too high." He goes, "I think for a finisher's buckle, just might be my last. I risked my life for it.
There you go.
And my life and my friendship and my whatever, blah blah blah, for loved ones is too good,
Right.
too high."
And that brings
there's a picture of him holding his buckle, lying
from
in
his
bed.
hospital bed.
Yep, with oxygen on and everything. So
Well,
yeah.
first of all, we hope he gets better and gets back to 100% strength. But that brings up an interesting point: is the body fatigue and breakdown that goes on during an ultra. And actually, it's anything after like 13 miles or something like that. There's a stat out there, I believe you told me about it at one point, I don't remember, but after a certain number of miles, even if you're trained, your body's going to deteriorate in some ways and break down and things like that. And so it's how your body compensates and handles that kind of stuff. And ultramarathoners, or not ultramarathoners, anybody that runs over that distance has a chance for that body to break down in different ways, no matter how much you've done it, no matter how much you've trained. And so he, what was I'm going to draw a blank on what he thought he initially had.
Well, they thought he had altitude sickness, and then he had a pulmonary embolism.
Okay.
And then rumbo.
Yes, that's one.
That's when I was training for my second marathon. Right. They thought I had the same thing, that you release proteins from breaking down muscle tissue, and your kidneys can't filter it, so everything shuts down, you get dehydrated.
And that's the thing and the scary part is that anything after a certain number of miles, you have like a 1 in some chance of getting this issue. Now, obviously, most of us that are running long distances, let me rephrase that. Most of you that are running long distances, I have trained your bodies to cope with that. And so I would say that the first thing is, if you feel fatigued, obviously go to the med tent or whatever, or if you feel out of sorts more than normal, because you hear stories. In fact, one of our former guests, I believe, Mindy Coolman, just ran one as well, and she had said she had been hallucinating and all this kind of stuff. And it's like, typical ultra stuff. She ran on a sprained ankle for 40 some miles. Typical ultra stuff. Right.
So Rob had mentioned, that he just, when he finished up, he just wanted to get some oxygen and some fluids. He didn't think he needed to go into the hospital, but they took him, and he went in and had his CPK levels tested. That's one of the things they do. And said a normal person's are between 0 and 200. The most they've ever seen from somebody in the race was 16,000.
Ooh, that's a lot.
His was 75,000.
75,000?
75,000.
Holy moly. Okay.
So the guy was sick. Extreme exhaustion, dehydration, just a whole bunch of stuff. And his levels came down, but still not low enough for him to be released from the hospital.
And we're obviously not doctors.
No.
In fact, my wife has now put the kibosh on me running an ultra because she had seen this stuff from Rob. She's like, you're not going to do that, at least not until our kids are old enough, to where they don't need me to help support them, apparently.
My wife's the same, because my Laura and Rob and Laura's brother and Rob, all of them, he's a family friend of theirs, so they've known him for a long time, and they had the same thing. And Laura's like, this will be your last marathon one, as I don't like giving up the time.
The time thing.
So she goes, why don't you just work on running half marathons faster?
Yeah, there you go. Change your goals.
Yep. So that's what my new goal.
I don't know. I still maybe want to do a try, but I'm kind of like, the ultra thing is
swim well enough.
Too many people I've seen here lately have had issues, and I'm like, okay, maybe we'll figure this out. But first of all, we hope everybody that is hurting from any of their ultras get better.
No doubt.
Like Rob said in his post, if it's your last one, that's fine. That's you got other things that are more important than running.
Absolutely.
So good luck to everybody out there with that. I do want to mention one more thing before we go. We're going to wrap up things, unless you have anything else to add. Okay. I have one more thing. I'm considering a project.
Okay.
And I'm going to keep it a secret. That's the thing.
Okay.
Considering this project.
The secret project. That if it never gets done, it didn't exist.
Exactly. But it does have to do with RunIowa.
Okay.
So keep your eyes out for that.
All right.
That's all I'm going to do. That's a tease.
Cool. That's your tease. Yep.
It's a secret project. I will say that I ordered a t-shirt off runiowa.org. Yeah. And it's a blue one, and it's really cool and light. And I wear it all the time, just not at school.
Okay.
But it is available. Go to runiowa.org. Right. You could check out that stuff. Again, if you want to advertise with us, this is just kind of one of those.
Right, no doubt.
You just happen to be listening, and you're out there, and you have something, or somebody somebody that maybe would want to get some stats on our stats.
Yeah.
So we can advertise with you. We can do that. And just, I don't know, Dave, are you having fun podcasting? Because I am.
Yeah, it's a blast.
Yeah, I love doing this, even on short episodes where we know it's going to be a shorter one.
Right.
Today. I just like having that conversation, and I think that hopefully a couple of the 7 of the people that listen,
no doubt,
enjoy the conversation and what's going on. So if you're out there running and you want to give us some feedback, we will always take feedback. You can do it a multitude of ways. Dave actually moved to Nebraska, in case we didn't say this. So he does have the Run Nebraska Twitter, as well as his normal Twitter account. I'm at RunIowa or Rob Lindquist on Twitter and Facebook and RunIowa.org. There's a contact sheet. I'm still figuring out my email on that, so I know I said that last week, I think. Sorry.
Me too.
Oh, man. It's start of the school year, man. Here we go.
Yep. All right.
So that's it for us.
Wait, one last thing. While we're doing that, if any of you are out there, and I know with, Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Irma and the people down there, but everybody's looking for, help, and it's a great cause. My wife went down to Houston area and was passing out food and water and clothes and blankets and all that stuff, and she was profoundly impacted by the people that were looking for help. But for those of you out there who haven't done anything and you're looking for something to do to help out, not the hurricane people, but if you want to go to our website, I am still taking donations for Project Purple, running the Chicago Marathon. There's a link on our website. $15 tax deductible donation. You can go and help support pancreatic cancer research. I just got an email from them. They're about to set a record for the most Chicago Marathon, and the donors who've contributed to that will set a record for their organization for any event they've ever sponsored. They sponsor like 10 or 12 different marathon runs a year.
Oh, wow.
So it's be part of something really good.
Yeah.
By no means don't feel obligated or anything, but if you're looking for something to do, check it out, and I'd love to have you help me out.
And you just brought this up with the hurricane thing going on. Our buddy Pat down in Florida, who we just spoke to recently, all was safe from him. If you're watching his Twitter, you could see that as well.
Right.
So everybody that's affected, if you feel the need to help out, go physically somewhere first. That's always a good place. If you're able to. If you're not, donations of money are great. Red Cross or Project Purple or whatever organization fits your needs. So go do that, and that's going to do it for this week. You're at 16 minutes 40 seconds if you're out there running right now, and that's it for us.
All right.
Happy trails.